Hi everybody, as promised, here's a little video that shows you how to use the templates. So I have the template open here and a photo that I'm going to put in there, a recent photo of my son. I'm just going to show with this template, but they all work exactly the same. I'm using the one that actually has Avenir as the font, but it doesn't matter what the font name is. And one thing I have done is I've actually ungrouped these layers on the side, and I will put with this post, I will make sure to put versions of the Photoshop files that have ungrouped layers, because I found that Elements might have some problems with the grouping that I was using. I'm using Photoshop, full Photoshop, not Elements, but most of these steps should be the same, and if you have any problems, just let me know. So I'm going to show you the full round of exactly how I do this and how I recolor everything. Hopefully it should be clear, and if it isn't, feel free to leave me messages as a comment, and I will make sure to help you out. Alright, the first thing I'm going to do is actually put the photo in, because that's how I start. So here's my photo. My photo is a 5x7, but this is a 4x6, so I'm going to actually change the photo. So I go to image size. This is just my way. It's not the right or the wrong way. Sorry, I'm on the wrong thing. So here's my photo. Actually, my photo was a 4x6, but it's horizontal, not vertical. So the first thing I do is I go to my photo, I say image size, and I change it to be width of 4 inches, because that's how the other photo is. And then it'll resize it, and once it resizes it, I basically go to my drag tool, and I drag this photo over here. I'm doing this stuff pretty fast, because I know that's not what most of you are interested in learning, but I just wanted to show anyway. So what I then do is I move this layer. Here's the layer that has the photo in it, right above the blue layer, and I go in between the two lines and I hold my Option key down. I'm on a Mac, so I hold my Option key down, and it changes the cursor. So then I click right between the two layers, and it then makes sure that this photo stays within the boundaries of that area. See, now I can move it around, but it doesn't actually go to the rest of it. It just stays within the blue area. So here I am, I just put it on there, and then I want to change the colors so that they match. Oh, sorry, it actually should be all the way in there. Alright, perfect, there we go. Now I'm going to close this just to make it easier to see, and then I'll try and make this a little bit bigger. I think I'm going to try and make it 50%. Alright, now you can see. So I'm going to change multiple colors here. I'm going to change the color of the top frame. To be honest, in this picture I probably wouldn't, just because it actually does show up, but I'm going to change it just to show it to you. So let's say I want to make that into like a light yellow or orange, sort of like it is in the photo. What I like to do is I go to what I'm going to change the color of, which in this case is top line across, which is this white line right here, which is top line across, and then I go in there and I say fill. And what I do is here, this little window comes up, and the first option is what color. So it says white, but I don't want white. I want color, which will then let me pick a color. See, my cursor just changed to a picker. And I'll just go into my photo and pick a kind of orangish color that's inside my photo. This one looks good, so I'll say OK. And then it's very, very important that you check Preserve Transparency on, which is right here. And then if you click that, there you go, my line just went orange. See that? And what I'll normally do is I'll stick to the same color. So I'll go to the top frame, which is this frame right here, and I'll say the same thing. I'll just say fill, and it stays on the color, so if you don't mess with it, it will actually stay exactly the same way. And then I'll say OK. So there you go. Now the top is orange. As I said, in this particular photo, I actually would have left it white, but just so you know. And if you want to do it for the text, it's the same thing. See, I have a text here that says date, and it will be exactly the same thing. I actually come in here. Actually, I lied. I apologize. It's not the same thing because this is a text. So what I do is I go to my text tool, which will take a while on my computer. Sorry, it's being a little slow. 100 to 100. Let's see how quickly it moves. But basically in the text tool, I'll just talk you through it. It's super easy. You go and select the text. I have just a lot of fonts. I think that's why it's taken a long time. So you select the whole text, and then you click on this thing right here, which is the color of the text. And then I would just move my cursor over the line that I just had, because now I don't have the same color. And you have to move it around a little bit to make sure it gets the right color, which here it is. And see, now you can see it matches my lines. There you go. See how it's orange. So that's how you change the top. The top and the bottom frame are changed exactly the same way. If you wanted to change the bottom frame, I tend to leave mine always black on top of white, but if you wanted to change it, and if you wanted to change this little thing that says thankful for, you come to the title layer, and it's exactly the same way. You come in here and you select the text, and then you come up here where the color is, and in this case I probably would change it to a darker brown, just because there's no blue really in this photo. And then lastly, I want to change this color where it says weekly gratitude, and that's actually called side text. So I come to my side text layer, and then in this case it's not actually text. I already rendered this because I didn't want you to have to worry about whether you had the font or not. And this is not something you ever change, since that's the name of our project, is Weekly Gratitude. So you click on the side text and you change that just like you changed the top lines. So you click on the side text, you go up to your edit menu and you go fill, and then you pick the color you want. Now I'm not going to pick the same color as this orange because I've already used that on the side, on the top, sorry. So then I might come in and like pick something from his clothes. So there's like a light green. So I would probably start with that. I lost it already, sorry. With that light green and make it maybe darker, just because I think that light green won't really show. And try that out and see if that looks pretty. Yeah, it looks okay. So there you go, Weekly Gratitude. I might, if I were actually doing this, I might make it a little bit different. Just to show you the full picture, so I'm just going to zoom out. There you go. So now I've changed the site text, I've changed the top lines and the date, and I've changed the title. I think that should cover all your questions. If I want, once I want to actually start writing the text, I click on the text layer and I'll come in there and start typing. And you should keep all your text within that little square. So there you go, I'm actually typing. And that's about it. If you have any more questions, the important thing to remember is the preserve transparency. Without that, it'll actually color your entire frame, which you don't want. And to pick the right layers. And if you don't know what the layers do or which layers are what, you can just click this little eye and it'll turn the layer off. Then it's really easy to see what layer it is. See, that's the bottom line. Top line across, see, very easy, it turns it on and off. Alright, if you have any questions, please feel free to leave a comment and I'll be